So.
Yeah, it's 6:30. All right.
Yeah. 6:30. Yeah. Here we freaking go.
I'll go ahead. What?
Nothing. It's like some new term or whatever.
Yeah, it's 6:30. I'll go ahead. What?
Nothing. It's like some new term.
Okay. Prabhu. Charlie, it's like I'm looking at the YouTube. How do you go to the Zoom?
So does it echo?
How do you go to the Zoom? Okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Bhajananjana
Yashoda Nandana Rajajanarandana
Yashodanandana Bhajananjana
Yashoda Nandana Rajajanarandana
Yamunatiya Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamunatiya Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Bhajananjana
Yashoda Nandana Rajajanarandana
Yashodanandana Bhajananjana
Yashoda Nandana Rajajanarandana
Yamunatiya Vanachari Yamunatiya Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Yashodanandana Bhajananjana Yashodanandana Bhajananjana Yamunatiya Vanachari Yamunatiya Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari Yashodanandana Bhajananjana Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Paribhad Sakacharya Sota Satashi Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Paribhad Sakacharya Sota Satashi Srimad Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to Simba devotees. All glories to Simba devotees. All glories to Simba devotees. All glories to Shri Guru, all glories to Ranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasad, Putale Shrimate Bhakti Vikasa, Swami Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasad, Putale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Nama Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 We are reading from looks a little because it's bright, huh? Looks a little weird. Maybe I should change.
Oh yeah, you can change the position.
Alright, maybe try and get it out this sun. Now the sun's all in my eye. It's all good. This is better. Okay. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 16, text number 7. Go word for word. Yat
Yat
Sevaya
Devaya
Charna
Charana
Padma
Padma
Pavitra
Pavitra
Rinum Sadhyaha
Adhya
Kshata
Kshata
Akila
Akila
Malam
Malam
Pratilabdha
Pratilabdha
Shilam
Silam
Na
Na
Shri
Sri
Raktam
Raktam
Api
Pi
Mam
Mam
Vijahati
Jahati
Yashyaha
Isyaha
Prekshalava Artaha
Vikshalava Arthaha
Itare
Utare
Niyaman
Yaman
Vahanti.
Vahanti.
That's my point for you for the okay. Yat sevaya charana padma pavicharinum
Yat sevaya charana padma pavitra renum.
Sadyakshata kilamalam pratilabdya shilam.
Sadhyakshata.
Sorry. Nashir viraktam api mam vijati yasya.
Nashrir viraktam ma vijahati yasya.
Prekshalavarta itare niyaman vahanti.
Prikshalavartha itare niyaman vahanti.
Yat sevaya charana padma pavicharinum.
Yat sevaya charana padma pavitra renum.
Satyakshata kilamalam pratilabdya shilam.
Sadhyakshatakhilamalam pratilabdha shilam.
Nashir viraktam api mam vijahati yasyaha.
Nishrir viraktam ma vijahati yasya.
Prekshalavarta itare niyaman vahanti.
Prikshalavartha itare niyaman vahanti.
Yat sevaya charana padma pavicharinum.
Yat sevaya charana padma pavitra renum.
Sadyakshata kilamalam pratilabdya shilam.
Sadhyakshatakhilamalam pratilabdha shilam.
Na Shri Viraktam api mam vijahati yasya.
न श्रीर्विरक्तमपि मां विजहाति यस्या
Prekshala itare niyaman vahanti.
वृक्षालवार्थरितरे नियमान् वहन्ति यत्सेवया चरणपद्मपवित्ररेणुम्
Yat sevaya charana padma pavitcharinum.
सद्यक्षठाखिलमलं प्रतिलब्धशीलम्
Satya kshata kilamalam pratilapta shilam.
न श्रीर्विरक्तमपि मां विजहाति यस्या
Na Shri Viraktam api mam vijahati yasya.
भिक्षालवार्थ इतरे नियमान् वहन्ति
Prekshala itare niyaman vahanti. Yat sevaya
यत्सेवया
charana padma pavitcharinum.
चरणपद्मपवित्ररेणुम्
Satya kshata kilamalam
सद्यक्षठाखिलमलं
pratilapta shilam.
प्रतिलब्धशीलम्
Na Shri Viraktam api mam vijahati yasya. Prekshala itare niyaman vahanti. Alright, yat of whom? Sevaya
Yeah,
by the service.
by the service.
Jarana
Varna,
feet.
feet.
Padma
Padma,
lotus.
lotus.
Pavitra
Pitra,
sacred.
sacred.
Renum
Yunum,
the dust.
dust.
Sadhya
Sadhyaha,
immediately.
immediately.
Shata
Shata,
wiped out.
wiped out.
Akila
Kila,
all.
all.
Malam
Alam,
sins.
sins.
Pratilabdha
Pratilabdha,
acquired.
acquired.
Shilam
Elam,
disposition.
disposition.
Na
Na,
not.
not.
Shri
Ni,
the goddess of fortune.
goddess of fortune.
Viraktam
Raktam,
have no attachment.
have no attachment.
Api
Be,
even though.
even though.
Mam
Ma,
me. Vijahati
Vijahati,
leave.
leave.
Yasyaha
Yasyaha,
of the goddess of fortune.
the goddess of fortune.
Prekshalava artaha
Kshalava Artha,
for obtaining a slight favor.
obtaining a slight favor.
Itare
Today,
others.
others,
Like Lord Brahma.
like Lord Brahma.
Niyaman
Niyaman,
sacred vows.
sacred vows.
Vahanti
Hanti,
observe.
observe.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Right.
Translation. The Lord continued, because I am the servitor of my devotees, my lotus feet have become so sacred that they immediately wipe out all sin, and I have acquired such a disposition that the goddess of fortune does not leave me, even though I have no attachment for her, while others praise her beauty and observe sacred vows to secure her from even a slight favor. Purport. The relationship between the Lord and his devotee is transcendently beautiful. As a devotee thinks that it is due to being a devotee of the Lord that he is elevated in all good qualities, the Lord also thinks that it is because of his devotion to the servitor that all his transcendental glories have increased. In other words, as the devotee is always anxious to render service to the Lord is ever anxious to render service to the devotee. The Lord admits herein that although he certainly has a quality that anyone who receives a slight particle of the dust of those feet becomes at once a great personality, this greatness is due to his affection for his devotee. It is because of this affection that the gods of fortune not leave him, and that not only one but many thousands of gods of fortune engage in his service. In the material world, tempted to get a little favor from the gods of fortune, people observe many rigid regulations and austerity and penance. The Lord cannot tolerate any inconvenience on the part of the devotee. He is therefore famous as Bhakta Vasalya. Oh my God, Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahakana Lalita Shiva Sakami Tamasa. Hey Krishna Karina Sindhi Nama Don't Take Up a Take Up as a Gopika Kanta Namo State Tapte Kanta Go Round the Sapana Suti Devi Panamani Hari Pri Antika Gosi Taki Pasin Pari Japatitana Pari Namo Om Vishnu Vidaya Krishna Visaya Buddha Shimati Namo Om Vishnu Vidaya Krishna Visaya Buddha Shimati Pati Vedanta Swami Samani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pachani Nirvishya Sunivadi Pasha Chitani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasti Gaur Bhakti Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Our darling Sorry, just give me one moment. Just do one thing. Okay. So I'm gonna read the verse, the Sanskrit. Yat sevaya charna padma pavitcharinum satya kshata kilamalam pratilabda shilam nashir viraktam apimam vijahati yasya preksha lavarta itare niyaman vahanti. Apologies. Translation, the Lord continued, because I am the servitor of my devotees, my lotus feet have become so sacred that I immediately wipe out all sin. And I have acquired such a disposition that the goddess of fortune does not leave me, even though I have no attachment for her, and other spiritual beauty and observe sacred vows to secure from even a slight favor. So this verse is showing the extreme compassion of the Lord. The Lord is so merciful to his devotees that he gives him his very self. He takes proprietorship over his devotees. So this verse is spoken after Jai and Vijay were cursed by the four Kumaras, and the Lord is feeling that any mistake on part of his servitors, he takes it upon himself. He says, "This is, this is my mistake because these devotees are so intimately related with me. He absorbs the fault. Although the Lord is faultless, he absorbs the fault of Jai and Vijay." And this verse is mainly dealing with the relationship between the devotee and the Lord. This relationship is purely transcendental. It's nothing, no relationship like this in the material world can compare to it because has nothing to do with material affection. Prabhupada says the closest thing we can see that's pure love in this material world is between a mother and her child. However, even this love is adulterated because even though the mother has so much love for the child, she only loves the child because she has, she gave birth to the child. But the Lord, he has so many children, and he has so much love for each and every one of them. So in this verse, the last thing, one of the things that really stuck out to me was that, he's famous as Bhakta Vatsalya. So, Krishna is the protector of his devotees. And any endeavor that the devotee tries to come to Krishna, Krishna will protect that endeavor, and he'll nurture the devotee's spirit of bhakti. He'll nurture the devotee's spirit of devotion to him. And in this verse, it's very interesting because a couple things. I'll first talk about that, how the Lord is Bhakta Vatsalya. So now the Lord is Bhakta Vatsalya, so you have Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. And all three protect the devotees, If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, throughout the Bhagavatam, you see the Lord protecting the devotee. You have Gajendra, right? You have Palamaraj. You have so many different paths in the Bhagavatam where the Lord is giving his very self just to protect the devotee, to go out his way to protect the devotee. And the Lord, whenever somebody comes to him, he takes great pleasure in that, so much so that he will make all arrangements to make sure that person comes to him and his bhakti is steady. There's this. And thing is, when devotees surrender to Krishna, they should have no fear, because, as it's saying in this verse, the dust of his lotus feet conquers all obstacles. It conquers anything impediment in the devotee's line of discharge of Krishna consciousness. Krishna can remove these impediments for us, and we should actually be fearless. Actually, and a symptom of an advanced devotee is that he has no fear. He has no fear whatsoever of his enemies. He has no fear for losing his relationship with Krishna, because Krishna personally protects his devotees, and he reassures his devotees of his protection so many times. In the Bhagavad Gita is mentioned, Makshita sarva durgani mat prasada tirishasi atat chitvam ahankara nashoshisi vinangshasi. That by those who constantly meditate, I quote this verse so many times, but it's so important, that those who constantly meditate on Krishna, always having their mind engaged in the lotus feet, he will remove all obstacles from your life. Machita Sarva is Durgani, just Durgani, Maya. Krishna will remove this Durga from your life. He will remove all obstacles and discharge your bhakti for those who are serious. And this is his, this is his prasada. This is his mercy. His mercy is doing so. And all you have to do is be conscious of Krishna, and by that, all your fears are eradicated. I was talking to Charvadeshnabu yesterday, though, but one fear we should remain, only fear that's actually conducive to the discharge of Krishna consciousness is fearing falling into Maya. Prabhupada says his Western disciples, they don't fear Maya enough, right? So that fear is healthy. The fear of falling into Maya, it is scary, it's dangerous. We take Maya for granted. We take Maya for granted. But we've been toiling in this material world and three modes of material nature for countless millenniums. And we come to Krishna consciousness, we feel ourselves getting elevated from ignorance into the mode of goodness, and we become content with that. But we shouldn't become content with any advancement we make, because Maya is very strong, it's very powerful. Even though we might not be grossly committing sinful activities, subtly, Maya can always creep in. However, Krishna reassures us that by surrendering to him, he will remove all obstacles. And in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Shagosho datar darastaram hirdayanti vyadarayat nabascha pritivim chaiva tumilo banunadayan. Actually, this isn't Krishna. This is, who's speaking this verse? Yeah, this is in the Bhagavad Gita. It says that the blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious. Vibrating both in the sky and on the earth, it shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Yeah, Sanjaya is speaking this. So this Hirdayani Vyadarayat shattered the hearts of the enemies just by the blowing of the conch shells. And Prabhupada writes in the purport that one who takes shelter of the Supreme Lord has nothing to fear, even in the midst of the greatest calamity. So Krishna, by blowing of these different conch shells, Prabhupada makes the point that, the Yodhana, they blew their conch shells on the other side, but it wasn't heartbreaking. The other side, they blew the conch shells, but nobody was trembled by it, right? But when the devotees, along with Krishna, when they blew the conch shells, it produced fear into the enemies, because that was a sign of their victory. It was a sign of their victory, because anything transcendently situated or related with Krishna, Krishna is always victorious. So anything of his paraphernalia, they can exhibit his victory. So when they heard the conch shells, they realized, even though they were trembled with fear, still they wanted to go on with the fight. However, it was a sign of misfortune for the other side. So we should always be conscious of the lotus feet of Krishna, as this verse is saying today. How Krishna will give his very self to the devotee But however, even though the devotee doesn't fully want to come into Krishna, it's very interesting. The devotee, we sometimes the devotee, we might come to Krishna, but then we won't take it so seriously. So Krishna takes it upon himself to remove obstacles, even though the devotee doesn't necessarily desire it, because he has so much love. The example is given just like the cow and the calf. I don't know if anybody's seen, but when I went to India, I was seeing when they were milking the cow, and then after that they they let the calf drink the rest. And you saw how excited the calf was. The calf was so excited to get this milk. And when the calf was sucking the cow, he was pulling. It was like, it was pulling the udders of the cow. It looked very painful, actually. It looked very painful. But the cow tolerates it. Why? Out of straight affinity and love for the calf, it would tolerate all offenses. It would tolerate all discrepancies, just because the cow loves the calf so much. So, and when a calf is given birth, it's very disgusting. It's like blood everywhere. It's pus. Nonetheless, the cow has so much love for the calf that it'll take on that burden. Regardless of all the disgusting, nasty things that's on the calf, it'll lick it up, it'll lick it clean out of straight affinity for the calf. Similarly, the guru, is also Bhaktavatsalya. When we come to the guru, we have so many hang-ups. We have so many disgusting, nasty anarthas. Apologies. Yeah, we have so many nasty, disgusting anarthas. We come to the guru with what? With nothing but disgusting, bad karma. Yet the guru takes it upon himself. He licks us up. He takes up upon our bad karma, and he gets us properly situated. And we drink the nectar of the milk from the guru's instructions. Even though we might not be discharging devotional service properly, the guru is always anxious to see his devotees make spiritual advancement. This is the guru's mercy, because the guru is the mercy manifestation of Krishna. So just as the calf is both, the calf is getting pleasure by drinking the milk of the cow, and the cow is getting even more pleasure by giving the milk to the calf, even though it's painful. I saw it. It looks very painful. The calf rips it. His mouth is very. Have you seen? Yeah. Anyways, those who've seen a calf drink the milk of a cow, it doesn't look very pleasant for the cow, but he tolerates it. The guru tolerates all our discrepancies. The guru is also Bhaktavatsalya, and in the first verse, the first canto of the Bhagavatam 118, the translation is, and because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you. This is the sages Namasharanya. They're talking about Sutta Goswami. Because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you sufficiently learn from them. And then Prabhupada writes, the secret of success in spiritual life is in satisfying the spiritual master, and thereby getting his sincere blessings. So it is essential, therefore, that a disciple be very much obedient and submissive to the bona fide spiritual master. Srila Sutta Goswami fulfilled all his qualifications as a disciple, and therefore he was endowed with all favors by his learning and self-realized spiritual masters, such as Srila Vyasadeva and others. So this is a secret. This is a secret to pleasing the Parampara, by being submissive, by Tatvidi Padipatina Paripashnina Sevaya, by being submissive and inquiring. This is the secret of success, by pleasing the spiritual master. You get, by this verse, is saying you get all knowledge by pleasing the spiritual master. By having attachment for the lotus feet of the spiritual master, you get all knowledge. By listening to the spiritual master attentively, you get all knowledge, you get realization of how to execute bhakti. So this is a secret of success. I said, Hardi Guru Vaishnava. The Krishna is Bhaktavatsalya because he protects his devotee and he gives himself to the devotee. The Guru also is Bhaktavatsalya because we come to him with so many disgusting things, yet nevertheless he accepts us, and he nourishes our creeper devotion by giving us knowledge and attachment. And also the Vaishnavas also are Bhaktavatsalya. I was reading in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that you have Vasudeva Datta, and Vasudeva Datta is incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj. And he says that, my dear Lord, let me suffer perpetually in a hellish condition, accepting all the sinful reactions of all living entities. Please finish their diseased material life. So, Vasudeva Datta has so much compassion upon the falling entities. He's saying, take them out as material. I'll take on upon the suffering that they have so they can go back to Godhead. This is a symptom of an advanced Vaishnava. He's Paradukaduki, that he sees the conditioned souls and he wants to be Bhaktivasali for them. He wants to protect them. He wants to nourish them, and he wants to give them Krishna consciousness. Another, as I said previously, one symptom of advanced devotee is that he's fearless. Another symptom of advanced devotee is that he has compassion for the conditioned souls. He cannot stand seeing the conditioned souls totally material existence life after life. It hurts him. It pains him. You see, Vasudeva Datta is painful for him. It's very painful for him to see the conditioned souls rot in material existence, and he wants to take on that burden. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is interesting. He says that Vasudeva Datta is more merciful than Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ, although he takes the sins of his disciples, the Christians, what they do is they'll be purified from the sins, but they go right back into sinning. But Vasudeva Datta, he says that let me end their material existence so they can stop sinning. He wants to completely give them liberation so that go back to Godheads, because he understands that as long as they're in the material world, they have the propensity to sin. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that Vasudeva Datta is more merciful than Jesus Christ. This is a symptom of advanced devotees. This is who we have to follow in the footsteps of, not artificially, but we should develop this mood of compassion. We should develop a mood of wanting to serve. You want to serve Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. You want to serve the Guru. You want to serve Krishna. You want to serve the devotees. And one symptom of the Parampara is you want to bring others into the Parampara. One who has realized the Parampara, they want to bring others into it because they realize the beauty of it. They realize the beauty. Even in this verse today, it's mentioned that Prabhupada says that the relationship between the Lord and his devotee is transcendently beautiful. It's beautiful. The relationship, Prabhupada says, is transcendently beautiful. And is linked Krishna through the Parampara. We can link through Krishna. We can, although we're not, Arjuna was taking instructions directly from Krishna on the battlefield, etc. We might not physically be with Krishna, but we can still associate Krishna through his instructions. We can still associate with the Guru through his instructions. And this is beautiful. It's transcendently beautiful, as Prabhupada is saying here. And also in the translation today, the translation says, my lotus feet has become so sacred that they immediately wipe out all sin. And like I said, the conditioned souls in the material world, they have this propensity to always sin. They have this propensity to sin. Why? Because they're covered over the three modes of material nature. You're bound to sin as long as you're not transcendently situated. Nevertheless, Krishna says that he takes all sins from you. He will remove all sins and all obstacles from you. And even though they're materialists, even though they hear statements like this, that they can become free from sins, they can be free from all discrepancies, they still don't surrender to Krishna. Why? It's mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita that Bogais Vari Pashaknanam Taya Parita Chetasam Vyavasa Yamika Buddhi. What's the last line? Yeah, no. Yeah. Via Vasa Meka Buddhi, and the last line is
Kurunandana.
No, that's not the word Bogais Varya Pashakdanam. Pashakdanam Taya Parita Chetasam Via Vasa Yamika Buddhi, and the last line is what?
Eke Kurunandana.
No. That's the other one. I have it right here. Don't worry. Samadao Navidiyate. Navidiyate. So this verse comes in that series of verses of Vasya Mika Buddhi Ekikuru Nandana. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita that those who have single point attention to worship me with devotion. And then after he says that, he says this verse, Bogais Vari Bashakdanam Taya Parita Chetasam, that He says, in the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for the devotional service does not take place. So, in the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and the opulence of the material world, they do not want to surrender to Krishna, even though hearing such statements as today in the Bhagavad Gita, even yesterday, Krishna says he will lop off his own arm just to protect his devotee. Krishna literally will give his own self to protect his devotee, and still non-devotees still don't want to surrender because they're too attached to materialistic life and the opulence of the material world. And it's actually funny because these materialists, sometimes they will even realize how disgusting the material world is. I remember one time, I said this story before, but I'll say it again because it's worth quoting. So I was outside the temple one day, and this person just drove up, and he just stopped his car, and I was standing in front of the temple. And he said, what is this? I said, oh, it's a temple, it's a monastery. He said, and he said, yeah, you know, can I give you a question? He said, I have a question. And I was like, yeah, what's up? He said, why is it that even though I don't want to have sex, it seems like I keep doing it and I really want to stop, but for some reason this urge is so powerful? And this is the same question that was posed by Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. I gave him the same response. I said it's lust only, ultimately. And then he was telling me that he drives around. He was a young kid. He was maybe like 23, 24. And he said, yeah, you know, I drive around and I just pick up like prostitutes and I just have like, you know, sex with prostitutes. And he's like, yeah, you know, I know this is so disgusting. It's wrong. I don't know why I do these things, but, you know, it's like, he's like, I'm addicted to sex. I don't know what to do. And because he's so attached to sense enjoyment and material opulences, the resolute determination to surrender to Krishna is not taking place within him. Even though he knows it's wrong, he knows that these simple activities is wrong. He's realized that, but because he hasn't fully accepted the process of Krishna consciousness to purify himself, you know, I gave him a science of self-realization. I preached him a little bit. I mean, I haven't seen him since. I mean, even if you just read it one time, it was safe. So, because he had a lot of, like, oh my Krishna, like, this amount of sins he's done is ridiculous. But, you know, anyways, even a person as that caliber who goes out, hunts prostitutes and, you know, has sex with them, whatever, just by him talking to me and me giving him his book, by that he became purified. Just by that interaction. Just by that small interaction by devotees, the lowest of the low become purified. And we have a great boon, we have a great mission on our head to give this knowledge to others. A symptom of a person who's following the Parampara strictly is that they bring others into Krishna consciousness. Because that is what Lord Chaitanya, that's his movement, is to give other people Krishna consciousness. So a symptom that you're following Parampara strictly is that other people are coming into Krishna consciousness. You see in a lot of ISKCON temples, people aren't coming to the temple. They're not coming because they've deviated from the Parampara. But if we're actually sticking strongly adhering to the Guru Parampara, naturally people are going to come. It's natural for them to come. Because this is the movement that Lord Chaitanya inaugurated. So we have to go out, we have to give these books, we have to give people this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. It's very important. It's a great duty on our head. Actually, the guru responsibility, His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Swami made this point, that the responsibility of the guru, the weight of the guru is more heavy than Nantashesha. And I was shocked he said that, and he clarified the statement. He said Nantashesha, you know, he has material in the spiritual world, you know, that he's responsible for. But the guru is responsible for the guru and parampara. That weight of the parampara is very heavy because a small discrepancy leads people astray. So the weight of the guru to facilitate and speak the guru parampara and to give the guru parampara others, that weight is more heavy than Nantashesha. So it is our duty. It's our duty to go out and give this pure Suddha Sattva, this bhakti, this pure bhakti, not unadulterated. Give it as it is. There's no reason to dilute it. People think we have to do this, we have to adjust to this time and this time. But ultimately, We're just catering to people's sense enjoyment. We're catering to people's boga and Aishwarya. We don't have to do this. The more we try to cater to people's boga and Aishwarya, then the resolute determination to practice Krishna consciousness is not going to take place. It's right here in the Bhagavad Gita. So, in this verse today, you know, Krishna is making the point that he's not even attracted to the attachment to the goddess of fortune. He says, I've acquired such disposition that the goddess of fortune does not leave me, even though I have no attachment for her. So, even though Krishna has no attachment for the goddess of fortune, she's very much attached to her, but Krishna is attached to his devotees, though. Krishna is more attached to his devotees than he is to his own consort. Just see the magnanimity of the Krishna. That he cares for his devotees more than even the goddess of fortune. And you see so many materialists, they're praying, even Prabhupada makes the point, they're trying to get the benediction of the goddess of fortune, they're praying to her, right? And it's a futile endeavor. You can't have the goddess of fortune without Narayana or Krishna. It doesn't work. So Krishna, he's more inclined to render service to his pure devotees. So that's pretty much the essence of today's verse. Anybody has any comment or question or anything like that, I'll open up now.
I had a small thing, because you brought up this nice point about if most people, for example, if someone was to walk in and this was like their first class they heard, for example, and they heard like, oh, the guru, or you know, I think you said the guru's more merciful. No, this incarnation of
The mercy potency of Krishna. Yeah, the Guru is a manifestation of the mercy potency of Krishna.
you said this Prahlad Maharaj was more merciful than Jesus Christ, for
No,
example.
no. Vasudeva Datta
Vasudeva
is
Datta
more merciful than Jesus.
And you said Vasudeva Datta, who is
Vasudeva Datta is a associate of Lord Chaitanya.
associate Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you
And
said something about
no. I said Vasudeva Datta is an incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj.
Okay, that's
But
what
he's in the mood. He's in the mood of Prahlad Maharaj, because Prahlad Maharaj also says that you know, let me save all these people. I don't want to go to the forest and meditate. My duty is to save all these fallen souls. So he was in the mood. Vasudeva Datta, he's an incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj. He's in that mood of wanting to, of Paraduga Dugi, having so much compassion for the fallen souls.
incarnation of Prahlad Maharaj.
Yeah.
Thanks for correcting that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was thinking like, yeah. So if somebody was to walk in, like for example, here that it's like what? Like how can somebody be like more merciful than Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
There's a common saying like if you teach a man to fish for, if you give a man fish for a day, he eats for one day. But if you teach a man how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. And that same analogy can be extended. It's like if you free somebody from their sins, they're purified for maybe a point in time.
Maybe 1 second.
But if you actually teach them how to purify their existence, to give them process of Krishna consciousness and whatnot, it's like that's real compassion, actually.
Yeah.
And that conception of what real compassion is beyond just like giving somebody what they want to feel some sort of satisfaction within a very short amount of time, rather than actually purifying their whole materialistic tendency, so they're not geared towards what actually is causing them suffering.
Right.
You know? So that conception isn't generally there.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing. It's like you see then the understanding, the Vaishnava understanding that our gurus give us is I guess the acharyas is love should be predicated on, again, that execution of devotional service to the Lord only, not just what the Lord gives us. I was listening to a lecture the other day by Guru Maharaj. I think it was Brahmacharya and strictness, and he was saying with Christians it's like. Somebody asked, for example, it's like, well, some Christians they say grace before they take a meal. So how does Krishna reciprocate with that? He's like, because they're still acknowledging God, and they're thanking Him for their food. And there's some awe and reverences there. He's like, yeah, I mean, like, they might do that, but if you're sitting at the table and there's like a roast of beef in front of you, it's like Krishna doesn't. That's not so pleasing to him. So beyond just that so-called love being just for, God gave us all these things and he's to enjoy, so therefore thank you. He's like, beyond that, it's like, one has to basically rise up that platform. That was a small thing. I'll be money to Prabhu if you have.
Yeah, no, I mean just to say what you. Yeah, so like that's a good point, bro. Like that Christians they go to they go to God just to like remove their sins, but they're not actually. I wanted to make that point. They don't have any knowledge of the potency of the holy name. Ultimately, the only thing that can save you in the Kali Yuga is chanting the holy name. That is it. So even though they might be wiped of sins because they have some faith in Jesus, because they have no knowledge of the potency of the holy name, they're going to be bound to commit more sins and accumulate more and more and more bad karma.
What's that verse? There's also another verse in that connection because it's not just Christians who do that. I mean, it's Hindus also. Like for example, go and bathe in the Ganges River, but it's like there's no rectification of one's.
Yeah, you're in a platform or animal. Anybody who goes to a holy place and bathes in a holy place but doesn't actually listen to sadhus, he's just like it's like a bathing of an animal, of a cow or something like that. So, yeah, exactly. This hearing and chanting is a process of actually getting rid. The thing is, ultimately, the base root of all sin is misidentification with the body, and it's the desire to enjoy without Krishna. This is the base of all sin: is the desire to enjoy without Krishna, right? Anything that is not linked with Krishna enjoyment, it can be considered sinful. That's His Holiness Bhakti Swami says that he defines sin like that: desire to enjoy things without Krishna. So the problem is because they're not being rectified, this enjoying mentality. This enjoying mentality is very dangerous, and that's why Vasudev Datta he saw that conditioned souls in Kali Yuga they have this enjoying mentality, and that's why he said just remove them from the situation, just liberate them, go take them back to Godhead because they're not taking up the process of Krishna consciousness. They're not chanting the Lord's holy name, even if we free them from sins. They're gonna do it again. So and Prabhupada makes a point in that purport that it's nothing for a devotee to completely liberate somebody or Krishna. If Krishna wants to, he can liberate this whole universe because it's like he's considered as this one small mustard seed. If Krishna wanted to liberate everybody in his universe, he can if he wants, but he leaves the credit for his devotees, right? And you see Prabhupada, by his Sankirtan movement, he's Bhaktavatsalya. He has so much compassion upon the jivas. He's Parduka Dugi that he crossed the waters from India, and he literally started a whole revolution where people can attain God consciousness. And Lord Chaitanya left that for Prabhupada. And like I said, the social Lord Chaitanya, each one of them are so powerful they can deliver a whole universe, but they leave it to the soul, to the servitors to get the glory. And the thing is, Krishna wants to empower his servitors. Like he gets pleasure in giving the devotees potency to preach. Just as the devotee gets some pleasure by surrendering to Krishna. Krishna, as Prabhupada says in his purport, that Krishna reciprocates, and he also gets pleasure by infusing knowledge and potency into the devotee to preach. So it's a transcendently beautiful relationship. So yeah, anybody else?
No.
Yeah.
This, I unfortunately had to download Instagram because I was working on the newsletter and I was trying to pull something from the YouTube from the Instagram in order to put that in. Anyways, I got on and I saw this advertisement. It was I guess it was a very famous Muslim preacher. I don't know his name, but he's very popular.
That ugly looking old dude who be going hard.
That is not very like.
He kind of looks like Sai Baba.
I don't know if he actually looks like a relatively young guy.
Oh.
I wish I had his name. Anyways, he was basically. I was scrolling past. I scrolled past his posts, or like it was like one of the first couple ones.
Prabhu, could you move closer to the mobile?
Sorry.
You can't hear?
Please, yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh, this is better. Krishna.
Yeah.
Krishna. Sorry. Basically, he was saying in order to get purified of one's sin, the importance is like to give charity. So he was saying like the importance of basically giving to like the mosque and whatnot. And you also see in like churches, they'll encourage people to tithe and to give to the church. And in Gita also, we see like the importance of like giving. I mean, it's a pious activity, but there's also giving in the as is explained, I think in the 18th chapter, like you have charity described like in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. And I was just thinking, like, when we look at like karmis, for example, they give Lakshmi and they take books home. It's like it's such an amazing thing. It's like because just you were talking about this this duty we have. We also have like such a big duty to make sure we're using that Lakshmi properly in Krishna service, because obviously I mean they get benefit as well for that sacrifice, that little bit of sacrifice that they make. And it's like if we don't properly utilize what they gave to be used in Krishna service, then we're also robbing them of that benefit as well.
Yeah.
So it really goes a long way. It's like so important. It's like we stay directly in line with the mission and don't deviate even a little bit from that, because it doesn't just directly affect our spiritual lives. It affects what could be the seed of spiritual life for somebody else also.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a huge thing when somebody just gives even a little bit, a small
really
donation
properly for your own sense gratification. And you can go to hellish condition. It's a quarter of a penny. A penny is a farthing. If you spend a farthing for something that's not for, so if you get some Lakshmi, right, for books or whatever, and you spend a farthing for your own sense gratification, then it's hellish. Prabhupada says you attain a hellish destination just by doing that. But just by on the opposite end, by just using a farthing in Krishna service, you get all blessings. So it's like it's such a thin line, like because Krishna ultimately, what can we give somebody who has everything, has it all? We can give so much money, but his wife is a goddess of fortune. He's not even interested in her, as it's said in this verse today. Krishna literally says that I'm not even interested in goddess of fortune, even though she has so much affection for me. So he's not actually interested in whatever money we give him. It's not the money; it's the love that we give. That's the only thing that Krishna tries to reciprocate. That is a platform of a transcendental relationship. It's via the medium of love. So, but yeah, we have to. And one part of love is if you love God, then you love also his creation. Not in the sense of like, okay, you love God, you love his creation because I'm so jiva loke jiva buddha sanatana manasastani jani prakriti karstasi, that you see that everybody's part and parcel of Krishna. So a Vaishnava naturally sees how other people are struggling with their mind. It's a verse in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that a advanced soul, he can see the suffering of others based on his own experiences. And we've always been in this material world. We've all experienced the pains of the material world. So, I mean, we should ultimately develop some compassion, as you were saying. But the real compassion is bringing people to Krishna. Like even materialists have some compassion, but actually, His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj said in a Vyasa Puja lecture, he said that the compassion of materialists is actually harmful for everybody. He said the compassion materialist is harmful because he made the point of like Mother Teresa or something, right? She brings people in and then she gives them beef.
Feeds them meat, yeah.
So her compassion is actually harmful for that person she's compassionate for and herself. So the compassion for the materialist is actually detrimental. But you see, even materialists have compassion, so why don't we have compassion? But real compassion is bringing people to Krishna.
The subject matter is proper, but it's like even Guru Maharaj also said, even when they talk about the right things, they're still wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, because they miss the basic point that, I mean, you're not the body. As long as you're attached to the body, the conclusion will always be wrong.
Even if it's in some sort of, karma kanda, which is generally within like Vedic society and maybe even good, still we see that it's binding.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if there was someone else like a Mayavadi doing some sort of welfare work, may not feed the meat and all that, then whatever.
Could you repeat what Prabhu says?
Oh yeah, he wants to. He's go.
It's like it's sattvic. It's sort of sattvic type of in the mode of goodness. This charity. Well, Krishna recommends that actually for the people on the lower ends. Actually, there is that, but there's a tendency to also bind us in material existence, put us into more illusion, because people, that's what they aspire for. Name, fame, prestige comes by also giving. That's one of the opulences of Krishna, renunciation, that you're renounced and you give your wealth to the needy. And even if it's done in the mode of goodness, it is very much binding.
Yeah.
And that's why Krishna says that, anyways, what is this verse? Kima karma karmeti. is that the nature of karma is very difficult to understand, O Arjuna. One has to, it's very difficult to understand the way of karma. So it's, yeah, that's there. Then there's also another verse that says that karma is very difficult to understand. But yeah, even the intelligent are bewildered by what is to be done and what is not to be done. You know, what is action, what is inaction. What is inaction for someone is action for someone else. So it's quite difficult to understand. So unless one is the kind of absorbed in bhakti tattva, in understanding it through the eyes of devotion, it becomes very difficult. Like the Mayavadis engage in that. There's so many philanthropists, this, but it's not good for them. Neither is it good for others, because they get more in the bodily conception life. And others also think, oh, that's the thing to do if I get money and if I want to help. And so, yeah, good point you made.
Yeah, but I was just thinking what you just said, like with Karma Kanda, and you see like in the fourth canto with King Prashina Bharat, how he was performing Karma Kanda, and it was like all the animals he killed manifested in front of him, and then Narada Muni make the point, just see all the sacrifice you've done to attain heaven, but look at all these animals you killed, right? And you don't think you're gonna get a result from this? You don't think you're not getting a bad result from all these animals you killed? So, because I think it was like one discrepancy. I don't want to speculate. Anyways, the point is that even in the section of the Vedas, this Karma Kanda, like you're saying, is very binding. And actually, for those who study the Vedas and they study Srimad Bhagavatam, you realize the result of performing Karma Kanda is go to heaven. But you see how disturbed Indra is. So if you're intelligent, you're like, okay, I'm performing these sacrifices, I'm trying to go to heaven. But then you see Indra is always getting like he's getting defeated by demons. He's getting humiliated. He insulted his guru, and then because he got puffed up because he insulted his guru, and then the demons came and just completely just took over his kingdom. This happens so many times, and it's like, if you're intelligent, why would you want to go to this destination where it's still suffering? You cannot escape suffering in the material world. You just can't do it. They think, and it's funny though, because these Christians want to go to heaven. They're not going to heaven. Even to go to heaven, it takes so much sacrifice. Like you can't just say, "Oh, I believe Jesus go to heaven."
You're going to hell.
It's like, even in the Vedas, to go to heaven, you have to perform so much austerity and sacrifice.
Mm.
You have to perform so much austerity and sacrifice just to go, and it's really crazy actually. No, I was just saying. I thought my mic was unmuted. yeah. Because the meeting ended. I was like, oh, did they hear me? Yeah, it's a bogus meeting. But the point is like, if you're intelligent, it's like, why would you want to go to heaven? It's a waste of time. Prabhupada says it's a will o' wisp, and
Will o' the wisp.
What did he say?
Will o' the wisp.
Will of the wisp. I don't really know what that is, but you know what that is?
Yeah, I think it's like a pie in the sky sort of thing.
Will o' the wisp.
Yeah, it's kind of like something you'll never catch or something. You gotta look it up.
Will o' the wisp. Will o' the wisp. Freaking orders hovering.
Can you read out loud?
It looks like a flashing light that, anyways, the point is it's just a waste of time. So yeah, I mean, you have anything else, Abhi?
No, thank you for the nice class. I was just thinking how, there's no mercy in Kali Yuga. And you can experience that so much on book distribution, how little compassion. I remember when I was in Boston one time, and anyways, people are so insane. Everyone in Kali Yuga is so crazy. But there's this one guy, and he was so strange, but he brought this really expensive cat, like one of these really bougie, opulent cats. And the thing is, like, it doesn't matter what you have in the material world. If it's like opulent in some way, people just like are attracted to it. So he came, so it doesn't matter. So he came with this really opulent cat, and he like went in the middle of the street, put the cat down, and put like he had a poster with like the cat's Instagram and like Cash App and and like the people to come take pictures. And people were like, and he was weird because like me and him like walked up and tried to do books with him. He was like really protective of his cat, and he was like really weird to us. We're like, okay, this guy's strange. And then, but the people were lining up to like take pictures of with this cat. Like I was like, are you like, what am I looking at right now? This is like,
That's wild,
in
bro.
the middle of the street. I was like, what is happening? And people were lining up to take pictures with this cat. But that's not the crazy part. Is anyways, I was thinking it'd be a shame if somebody just like came and kicked the cat or something, you know? But
God forbid you
like
kick
after
people.
like 10, 20 minutes, this like yoga mataji who looked like a normal white woman came and she didn't kick the cat, but she like ran up and then this little stand with the cat Snapchat and all thing next to it, just kicked it.
Oh my God.
It went 20 feet in the air. And like no one said anything. No one cared. Everyone just looked. Some people were kind of laughing, and she just sort of walked away. You know, I've had a billion experiences like when something really bad happens to somebody or to someone, and no one really cares, and then everyone kind of like, and you see how little compassion there is in the material world. Like little people could be dying on the street. I swear to God, I've seen people literally looks like they're dying on the street, and people just walk by them. You know, and it just shows you how evil actually the conditioned soul is. In and it shows us what's in our own heart actually. You know, and that's why books music kind of helps you to like soften your heart and realize that, man, like I don't want to be like these people. I just want to have I want to have some compassion because it's not good. And then you're like cold in the Hindu gig and like trying to slog it out, and the Hindus just don't give a flying damn about you. They don't give you a donation. They don't take any books. It's like, where's the freaking love? Like there's no love in this material world. But then when it makes it the compassion from spiritual master. It makes it even better when you experience that. And you know compassion is like only unique to the devotees. So when you exhibit that, people notice that. The
Yes.
karmis notice that.
Yes.
So
Only
if
the
we
ones
if
who really
we
have
if we show that, they feel it.
Yeah, and even sometimes it's like, that's a good point though. It's like materialists, they see that you're trying to strive so hard to do something good, yet they just don't care. Like they just don't care at all, bro. It's like they don't care that like you said, you're out there. You might be hungry or thirsty. Like, can I get some water? No, get out of my store. I'm like, my man. Like, I'm literally I'm trying to give you
Yeah.
the highest thing. You're kicking me
But
out my
there are things when you exhibit like actual compassion on book distribution, like that there may be times like you don't want to give someone like a free book because you think they're ox, they're broke. But then like for instance, I was in Harvard Square and there was this really homeless lady in a wheelchair. She was an old lady and she wanted a book. She didn't have any money, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to give her a free book, but I did. I gave her a small book, and then after that, like 5 minutes later, she came and she said, as soon as you gave a small book, somebody came and gave me $5, and I want to give this to you. I want to give this to you because I don't think this would have came if you didn't give me, this book.
opulence comes as immediately as you get something from Krishna. Automatically, your life becomes better, bro.
Yeah. People were buying her pizza, people were getting all kinds of stuff, but she knew that, okay, I didn't, I didn't, this $5 because of this book. And so she gave the $5 and then Krishna kept giving her more. But anyways, and I felt really nice, like, wow, I didn't have to give her a small book and, but no one does that to her. People walking by her, but that's what compassion, I don't know if that's maybe it's speculation, but in my humble opinion, compassion is like the shining quality of a Vaishnava, you know? I don't know if there's anything in Shastra that says that, or I mean, I know there's
In the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna is having this compassion for, okay, so the first verse, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana Krishna spoke the following words. And it says, Prabhupada says, material compassion, lamentation, and tears are all signs of ignorance of the real self. Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization.
and there's like Kapila Dev, was it Kurukai Tatikshava? What is it? When it's like the ornaments of a sadhu. These are the ornaments of a sadhu.
Yeah. Compassion is one of them.
But, it's nice. That's why book distribution is so important. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to like cultivate compassion or preaching in general. Some kind of preaching.
Okay. Okay, so we have to go now, Avi. So I'm gonna end the live stream.
Okay.
How do you do that?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah.